Yes! Yes, I am here. What a crazy week of games. What a crazy week of games. I am running a little late. I apologize. I'm a little behind today. I'm going to make sure that I am good to go. I should be broadcasting live on Twitter. Hopefully, I am live on Facebook and live on YouTube, of course. So, running a few minutes late here. It's been a hectic week. If you're watching this now, but you're not going to be able to get in Friday, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas ahead of time. In the link below is a link to my picks video. I picked every game. I picked the score. Play along. Just you can pick all 16 games, or you can just pick your favorite. Whatever you want to do. I don't remember a NFL week quite as crazy as this one. I watched Minnesota Colts. I still don't believe that happened. It was just nuts. Lot of details in that game. I noticed that the Colts in the second half, they weren't using the full clock. They didn't go into full 4-minute offense. I was kind of surprised. But as I was watching that game in the third quarter, I'm kind of like, you know what? I could see, Minnesota's got such an explosive offense. How are the Colts going to rebound? That's going to be an interesting story in itself. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think Saturday's the long-term answer anyway. So, Baltimore, Cleveland. Does this help or hurt Lamar Jackson's situation? For those of you who don't know, he wants to be. He wants to make the big time bucks. Baltimore's been adamant that they don't want to pay him. It's kind of a weird situation, but then they put up 3 against Cleveland in kind of a must-see game. So that's good or bad. Miami and Buffalo, what a great game that was. I think Miami kind of exposed some weaknesses in Buffalo. I really do. They were able to run the ball. The defense doesn't look as good. A lot of craziness. I did not get a chance to see Saints and Falcons, but looks like Desmond Ritter. I don't know exactly what it was off the top of my head, but I want to see something like 13 out of 18 for 80 yards. I think he had 40 yards rushing. Close game. I did not have a chance to see him play. For you Lions fans, I said that I was going to watch Lions Vikings. I didn't get a chance. I still got on DVR. I got Detroit Jets on the DVR. I am going to watch that because I have no idea. I've heard Zach Wilson look good. And I've also heard he looked bad, so I have no idea. Jimmy, what? This is just the craziest NFL weekend I've seen in a long time. Lions, yeah. I got the Lions Jets game on DVR. I want to see what Zach Wilson did because I'm looking at the box score. And I'm looking at the stat line. I'm like, this doesn't look bad. And I know the Jets were in position, to put this game in the overtime. So I don't know what happened. I've heard different things. I heard Zach Wilson looks good. I heard Zach Wilson looks bad. I'm really surprised because I have no idea. But I do want to watch that game because I want to know how the Jets are looking. And it's an interesting situation because Jimmy G to New York makes a lot of sense to me. It really does. And when I looked at Robert Saleh taking over, he seems to me to be a coach that really just wants an average offense. He just wants, hey, look, I want to run the ball. I want to try to score 24, and that's how we're going to play. It's kind of an old school team with a really good defense, and the Jets defense is really good. And there's a chance that it's just going to be better next year. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. Let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out there. Brady comes back for one more year to Tampa Bay, which I think is going to happen. Why not trade Zach Wilson to Tampa for a third-round pick? And, who says no? I mean, if you're Tampa Bay, wouldn't you like Zach Wilson to sit under Brady for a year? And then, that would be so he would play year 4. He would play year 4. So, I don't know. I was just kind of playing around with trade situations, and Zach Wilson at Tampa Bay might be interesting. So, Lions D should have had about 5 interceptions. Wilson got okay. That's kind of what. That's kind of leaning towards the what's bad, and that kind of makes sense. I only caught the Chiefs in overtime, but watching the score, think, oh no, if you watched last week's video, I said it, and I could have said it this week. I didn't, but actually, off the top of my head, maybe I did. Here's the thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs hate the cover. Do not take the Chiefs to cover. I had a feeling this was going to be a close game. The Texans the last 2 weeks have been playing some really good ball, and it's kind of interesting because I wonder if Lovie Smith's coming back. I think they're making a mistake not riding Davis Mills, but the 2 quarterback system, it's ugly as hell, but it did work. I mean, it's ugly, but I mean, they put up 24, and keep in mind they're going to get. I don't know the draft order, but last I looked, it was like 1 and 9. If they just went with Davis Mills, which I would do, I would trade it down for number 1. And just load up on defense, because the only way that defense can really work is you have to have a monster up on that defensive line. You have to have an absolute monster, and they don't have that guy. They just got a bunch of guys. What they were trying to do is that they thought that they had about 8 to 9 guys on that defensive line. They would just rotate in and out, and but they have nobody that can beat a double team. And that's really kind of the whole principle behind that defense. So, I mean, if I was in charge of the Houston Texans, I would say, I would auction off that number 1. I would auction off that number 1 pick, and I would just go like onslaught on that front 7. I seriously, I would draft 2 defensive linemen as early as I could. And there's some good edge rushers. There's some good defensive tackles. I keep hearing Jalen Carter, the Georgia defensive tackle, is going down in the draft. There's some character issues. I don't know. It sounds like BS to me. It sounds like because right now the way it works, I think Chicago is number 2 pick in the draft, and if I'm the Bears, I definitely take Jalen Carter. That to me is kind of a no-brainer. One Pride 40, what is up, man? Dude, listen, I apologize. I did not get a chance to watch Lions Vikings. I apologize. I lied to you. The holiday season's kind of kicked my ass. It's not a good excuse. I lied to you. I'm very sorry. I suck. I do got Jets Lions on DVR. Jimmy told me that Lions D should had about 5 interceptions. I want to watch this. I want to watch this myself, see what happened, because I want to know. I think the Zach Wilson situation is interesting because if I'm the Jets, Jimmy G makes so much sense to me. Hmm. Amazement, brother, what is up? You know what? I did not save your picks. I just realized that just now. The way Streamyard works, I have a starred comment section that I can save. And I meant to transfer that over to a notepad, and I did not. I'm going to have to take your word for it. I know you picked 4 games. I told you I didn't like the Raiders and I didn't like the Titans, and both those. Well, the Titans game, wasn't it Titans +3? It should have been pushed. The Raiders won. I'm trying to think here. Maybe the weirdest ending to a game. I've seen some crazy ones, man. I remember on Monday Night Football. I'm drawing a blank on the Green Bay Packers receiver's name, and I shouldn't. I know it's Antonio Gibson. I know it's Antonio Gates. I can't remember the guy's name. So he falls down, and Chris Dishman, the corner, like almost has the interception. But so anyway, he falls down and the ball bounces like on his leg, and he just like latches onto it and then gets up and in overtime walks into the end zone. That was kind of weird. The Chandler Jones touchdown might have topped it. Man, I mean, yeah, you're right. This is just a crazy week. I tuned into Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. I saw the score was Cincinnati 27. Cincinnati 27, Tampa Bay 17. But I know Tampa Bay was up 17-6. So after watching the Raiders Patriots game, I went back to watch the game at 17-6. I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw 17-6. And I'm seeing now 17-0 at one point, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" And yeah, I kind of feel bad for Brady, but yeah, Tom Brady's life isn't too bad, so it's hard to feel bad. Giants Washington, that was a tough one. I mean, so many crazy games, and I wish I could watch them all. I didn't get a chance. It does seem like the league is starting to swing back in a favor of good defense against you, maybe on something for you. Yeah, absolutely. I got a lot of Lions fans, okay? If you're the Lions, you definitely want to play Minnesota in the first round of playoffs. You want to avoid San Francisco. San Francisco's hottest team in the NFL right now. Nobody wants to play San Francisco right now. That team's awesome. That team's awesome. Very impressive. And they're starting to get healthy. That's dangerous. The 49ers, and you offensively, they're still not really that good. I mean, they really aren't. Trying to see here. For some reason or another, I just okay. There it is. Okay, I had Thursday Night Football. Blocked. Where do I start? Well, I called the trap. Yeah, you called that. You called that. Lots of people did. So I'm watching that. I'm watching it, and I'm like, Dallas is up. What was it, 30-13, something like that? And I didn't think much of it. And then I saw, Jacksonville coming back. Trevor Lawrence looks like Trevor Lawrence is finally becoming the guy everybody thought he could be. He looks like he's finally getting to that elite status as a NFL quarterback. I don't think anybody's confusing him with, Josh Allen, Burrow, or Mahomes yet, but he's getting there. I saw something like the last 4 games. He has 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's finally starting to play like an elite quarterback. They are 1 game behind Tennessee, and Jacksonville play in Jacksonville last week of the season. I would love that for that to be the AFC South game. That would be awesome. Denver Gators in the house. What's up, football nerds? What's up, Denver Gator? Side note, are we gonna get a new name here, Denver Gator? We getting a new name, but you know, you can stick with I love the DG. I love the DG, but Jags may sneak into the Ford seat. Yeah. I actually kind of expect that to happen. Congrats on the 4th straight division title, blah, blah, blah. Are you worried about are you worried about Chiefs D going to the postseason? I am not. I'm the only Chiefs fan that doesn't want to fire Steve Spagnuolo, Spags, the Chiefs defensive coordinator. No, I'm really not. Here's the deal. The Chiefs are playing a ton of rookies. I really think that the Chiefs get the 1 seed. And this is key. If the Chiefs get the 1 seed and they get that bye, just watch out. Now, if they have to face a 7 seed, I am worried because that 7 seed could be the Chargers, which always play us tough. And sooner or later, you know, the Chargers are going to get a win. Miami in the playoffs are a team that you have no idea what they're going to do. I mean, you know, you have Tyreek Hill, who's a legitimate MVP candidate. I mean, he really is. I mean, I don't have him winning it. But you also got Waddle on the other side. I mean, that's one of those crazy things. You never know what could happen with a team like Miami. They played well enough to win in Buffalo. So, but I'm the only person in Kansas City that's not wanting to fire the defensive coordinator. And no, I'm not worried. I'm really not. I'm a little crazy though. I think they do. I think he's referring to this comment right here, the 49ers and defense. Yeah. That Raiders-Pats ending. Yeah, I've been watching football religiously for over 40 years. I'm trying to think of a game. I'm drawing a blank on the receiver's name, the Green Bay wide receiver. It was Monday Night Football against the Vikings. Chris Dishman almost has a pick. The ball bounces, and I'm going to say Antonio Gibson. I know that's not right, but it was when Brett Favre played for the Packers. He falls down, and then the ball like lands on his leg. He just kind of latches onto it. Dishman wasn't really paying attention. The guy, and then he gets up and scores a touchdown in overtime. It was like some weird rainy game on Monday Night Football in Lambeau. Lions fans are going to hate this. A couple the Hail Mary to Rodgers to Rodgers. That was a weird one. Patriots, Dolphins, the weird fumble play. So, which collapse was worse, Pats, Dallas, or Bucks? God, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm not going to say the Pats, and the reason why is that that's a fluke. I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people feel like that's terrible. I don't think that. You know, I mean, instead of they were just trying to make a play, I really don't have too much of a problem with that. I really don't. Dallas up by 17 with what supposedly is a great defense. That to me is the worst. That's a team that's trying to get the 1 seed. They're going to play Philly next week with a great opportunity. Now they're 3 games back. They were 2. Philly wins 1 more game. They get home field. They're going to start Philly's going to start Gardner Minshew against Dallas, and they're not even worried. It's like, we'll put the backup in. For me, it's easily Dallas. I'm not going to say easily, but sorry, I misspoke. For me, it's Dallas, and the reason why is that your team was supposedly a great defense. Dan Quinn's this great defensive coordinator, and you're up by 17 against a team with a losing record, and you can't get it done. I mean, you have your, I don't know how much money. Keys put it up last week. I think Zeke Elliott's getting like 15, 16 million a year. You got Dak Prescott. I mean, Mazeman says, I think the Lions take that last spot. Washington lucky with that tie on the record. Lions Vikings would be such a good. I think everybody wants to see Lions Vikings in a wild card. I know I do. It's not because I get a lot of love from the Lions fans, which I do get a lot of love from the Lions fans, but I want to see this. A division rival in the wild card, and the best part is that I would not be surprised if the Lions advance. I mean, you're a 1-6 team. You look terrible. I blasted them. I thought they were just going to be awful. I thought everybody could go. About 6-7 weeks ago, I thought everybody should be fired. Now they're making me look bad, and they may win a playoff game. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Everybody wants to see Lions Vikings. And you know what? Seriously, if you're Minnesota and you get the 2 spot, I think the last team you want to play is the Lions. I think the last team you want to play is the Lions. You know, if you're the Vikings, Vikings play the Giants, right? And off the top of my head, I don't remember if they played Washington or not, but I think they'd rather, even if they lose to the Giants, which is a possibility, I think they'd rather play the Giants or Washington rather than the Lions. I really do. And if you're the Lions, whichever wild card team you are, whether you're Dallas, Detroit, New York, Washington, I think I got them all. You do not want to play the 49ers. You would much rather play Washington. I'm sorry, Minnesota. I missed. I forgot to throw in the Colts. That was pretty bad collapse as well. So many teams. Yeah, it was just a crazy weekend. As a Chiefs fan, I'm glad my Chiefs won, but I really wasn't that worried. I know it sounds a little crazy, but the Chiefs do this. They play down to their competition. If you follow the Chiefs and you do sports betting, the Chiefs do not take Kansas City to cover a big spread. They're 9.5-point favorites last I looked against Seattle. Seattle's going to cover that. You can almost bet on it. In the description below, Amazement, I pick every single game and I pick the score. I released a video at 6 p.m. Central. So if you're on the East Coast, it'd be 7. Dude, check it out. I put chapters so you can just skip to your favorite team. I'd prefer you watch the whole video. It's a pretty good video. I'm not going to, I'm telling you right now, it's a good video. If you just want to skip to your favorite team, you can. I think the NFL, hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. And we may, Tannehill may not play, but I mean, you want to see Derrick Henry. If Malik Willis is the starting quarterback, Tannehill's been banged up all year. You never know. Absolutely. And this is smart by the NFL. And yes, you do want to see Trevor Lawrence because you want to see Josh Allen. You want to see Patrick Mahomes. You want to see Joe Burrow. You want to see Trevor Lawrence. The NFL wants young superstar quarterbacks. That's always been the NFL motto is to try to get as many great starting NFL quarterbacks that are young. You want the young kids because they're easy to market. There's limitless upside. Side note, the owner of Jacksonville is Shaq Khan. I'm probably getting the name right, but a Pakistani billionaire. He did the NFL solid, and he volunteered at Jacksonville play over in London. It's been 5 straight years. There's talk about how he's going to move the team to London. Turned out to be what he did is he took money out of his own pocket. I think it was 350 million. And he renovated that at Jacksonville Stadium. And I think the NFL is going to say these are hidden things that aren't really public, but this is one of the things that NFL wants to do is the NFL is going to say, hey, you does a solid. If we can get you on primetime, we're going to get you on primetime. I want to see it. At week 18, If there's a game with playoffs or go home, I want that on prime time. Remember last year it was Raiders Chargers, went overtime, could have ended in a tie. Remember that? And it was awesome. Yeah, when did you ever see a Belichick coach team look so lost? I think his time is winding down. The whole staff looks lost. Yeah, it's funny because I watched New England. By the way, Ramondre Stevenson looks like a superstar in the making. I mean, he looks awesome. And I kind of want to see what they do, but the offense, it's kind of funny because they look like Denver did last year. It's a team that looks like they have talent. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole or having a Ferrari tow a camper. It just looks so out of sync. It doesn't look right at all. The offense just looks so off. It's bad because that defense is good. That defense is loaded. That defense is good. Ramondre Stevenson could be an MVP next year. They got to fix some things on that offense. And I don't know if it's the line. I don't know if it's the coaching staff. They got to fix some things though, and it's really just on the offensive side of the ball. The defense looks solid. I don't blame the Patriots for that play either. Go for the win. You tell you the truth, I'd rather lose like that than lose in overtime on a fluke touchdown or something goofy. You know, go for the win. I don't have a problem with it. Stat Sheet Sports. What is up, brother, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here. By the way, I'll use this as a good time. If you are jumping in, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. Also, a stat sheet. By the way, look in the description below. My Week 16 picks. I did a video. You can go to your favorite team. If I remember right, you're a Packers fan. You can go to your favorite team or just watch. The video is great. And I asked that if you go to that video, just put whatever your favorite team is or all 16 teams, put a comment. And because I predict the winner and the score. It's a great video. Great video. Should Eagles sit Hurts for the rest of the regular season? Not completely. And the reason why is they need just one. They need one more win. They played Dallas. It looks like they're going to start Gardner Minshew. All right. You need one more win to lock up the 1 seed. You just need one. After you get that one, then settle. So you get one more win, then sit Hurts. I would hate it if somebody gets in their ear and says, hey, let's try to win Hurts MVP. And sometimes that happens. I hope it doesn't. I don't think the Vikings want to see the Lions, and honestly, I don't think Dallas wants to see my Bucks. If we can get healthier, we have a shot. We've had Dallas's number as well. Yeah. I mean, Tampa. Nobody wants to see Brady in the playoffs. Period. I mean, and that NFC South is still completely up for grabs. It really is. I mean, all those teams play each other the last couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting. Wins that division. I do think Tampa Bay wins it. I really do. I mean, they may be 7-10 and gets in. You don't want to play Brady in the playoffs. Nobody wants to play Brady in the playoffs. And you play Brady at home in the playoffs. You don't want to see that. You really don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. It's kind of funny because it looks like you want to play the 2 seed. I'll be honest. I'd rather play the Bucks than the Niners, but it's kind of funny. Like the 2 seed would be Minnesota. That's a team that you want to play. It's kind of funny. Do I think the Jags make the playoffs? The last game of the season, they're going to play Tennessee. Today, right now, I'm going to say yes. Today, right now, I'm going to say yes because I think Tennessee looks like a disaster. I went through their injury report. I think 3 of their starting secondary members are out. Remember at the beginning of the season, Harold Landry went out in preseason, and he was their best edge rusher. Really, really one of my favorite players. Jeffrey Simmons, probably their best defensive player. He's been banged up. I don't know if he even played. Tannehill's been banged up. The offensive line's been banged up. You can't count on Derrick Henry. I mean, you have to understand, Derrick Henry just takes so much punishment. Remember, they got rid of A.J. Brown at the beginning of the year. Treylon Burks, the guy who's supposedly taken over, he's been in and out of the lineup. It's terrible. Seriously, they've just been littered with injuries. And Tannehill may not even play. I mean, he may not even play. And so I think that game, I really think what's going to happen is that game's going to be for the AFC South title, winner take all, and it's going to be in Jacksonville. And it would not surprise me if Jacksonville wins. Short answer, yes. I think Jacksonville's going to win that division. I agree. Criticizing a team that's 1-6, not unreasonable at all. Even the most diehard Lions fans would have predicted we'd be in the hunt at this point. I mean, seriously, when they were 1-6, I was on the record saying, I think everybody's job's in jeopardy. And Lions fans have been adamant. They've been telling me, I know you're a Lions fan too. You weren't, but I had one pride. I had Funk. I haven't seen Funk in the comments yet. They were telling me, no. Campbell's safe. And I'm like, no, he's not. You win 5-6 games in 2 years, your job's not safe. His job's safe now. Yeah. Definitely a testament to their coaching state, of course. Yeah, a great job. It would not even surprise me if it would not surprise me if he gets some coach of the year votes. Would he be my candidate? No, but I think the way it works is that you get a vote for 1, 2, and 3, and you tally the points. He might be number 3. Super Saiyan Lions, 28-14 Lions, stamp it. All right. Come back. Actually, do me a favor, Super Saiyan Lions. In the link below, my picks video. I picked the score. I picked the score to the Lions game. I put chapters so you can go directly to the Lions game. If you don't mind, go to that video, put that score in the comment section of the video. If you don't mind, it would mean a lot. You don't have to, of course, but if you don't mind, put it in there. That way we got it stamped, because I put my score of the Lions game in the video. Hey Girl TV. Hey, my man, Dan. So, Hey Girl TV, you can put a link to your channel in the description. She's doing Vlogmas, which is I get a kick out of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a big Christmas person. I'm just not. I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm just not. But I've been loved. So she does like little Christmas videos. She's got her. I'm not going to say this, but the most adorable little girl is so cute. Anyway, I've been loving Vlogmas. I've been loving your channel. So please put a link in the description. That way, anybody who's watching this, whether it's live or on rebroadcast, can check your channel out and check out Vlogmas, because I'm getting a kick out of it. I like it. Pats could be great if they had absolutely they could. No, Stevenson is not a free agent next year. No, this is year 2. He was a 4th round pick out of Oklahoma. He's actually from Vegas originally. So no, he's going to be there. I really think that even though the Patriots don't like to re-sign players, I think after next year, the Patriots will sign him. Like he's amazing. I've been so confused why Matt P is their offensive coordinator. God, I don't want to do like a huge rant. But I basically think that what it is, Belichick just wanted somebody he was comfortable with and understands the way he wants to do things. And Matt, I'm going to tell you something. Matt, you Lions fans hate this guy. I get it. But this is one of the smartest football minds in the NFL. But that offense is not Like they are not on the same page. And it's actually been this way since preseason. They looked out sync in preseason. They looked out sync all year. They got a guy who could be an MVP candidate, Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, this guy is really good. This guy is really good, and they're so off. And you know what the worst part is what they probably should do is draft a wide receiver with their first pick. And Belichick, that's the one thing he's never been able to do is draft a wide receiver. They've also been doing like a musical offensive line. I don't know if Mac Jones is the guy. I thought after last year he was. Now do you remember how was it Bailey Zapp came in and the offense looked so much better? I mean, it looked better. It looked like it. I don't know. There's so many questions about the offense. That defense is awesome, though. And you know what the thing is? That defense is young and just getting better. That seriously, with a good offense, the Patriots could easily have one of the top 3 defenses in the league. Made it to the semifinals in my Money Fantasy League. Good job. Thankfully, Fields came back in the game and got a late TD. Should I start Cincy D versus Bucks? Or I'm sorry, Cincy D versus Pats or Bucks D versus Cards? Well, Cincy, let's take a look here. You know what? I'm trying to remember because I didn't check the weather report. I don't remember the New England weather. I don't think it's going to be that bad. God, that's a tough one. I would go with the Bucks D, and I'll tell you why. I mean, there's so many. The offensive line for the Cardinals is almost 4 back. I think it's. I seriously think it's either 3 or 4 backups. I'm not exaggerating. Corey, aka the Red Sea, he hasn't been on in a while. He sent me. I asked him a few questions, and he told me that they easily have the most injuries in the NFL. That's not really true, but they're really banged up on the offensive line. You got a backup quarterback. You have the general manager who is going out for medical issues. You have probably a lame duck head coach. Tampa Bay. I would go with the Bucks D. That's what I would do. Another thing is that one thing about Cincinnati is that they do have a smaller defensive line, and you watched how Ramondre Stevenson had 172 yards rushing. It wouldn't surprise me if Ramondre Stevenson has a big game running the ball against Cincy's defense. But you got some good ones. I would go with Bucks D because the Cardinals are just general managers has an illness. He's not going to be back. He may not come back ever. Head coach is probably a lame duck coach. You have a backup quarterback, 3 or 4 backup linemen. I would go with the Bucks. Let me know what you do. They're really every time I've watched the Patriots, Mac Jones at least 2 or 3 times a game looks visibly pissed, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. One of the commentators on when I was watching the Raiders game, and I forget who it is, said that you really don't want to see that out of your quarterback. I think it was Trent Green and Kevin Harlan that were calling the game. I could be wrong about that. And I don't remember which one of them. By the way, both those guys are great play-by-play guys. Trent Green was in Kansas City, did a lot of Kansas City games. Kevin Harlan started his career on Kansas City radio. Kevin Harlan's amazing. I'm a huge Kevin Harlan fan. Really underrated play-by-play guy. And one of those guys said you don't want to see your quarterback get this emotional. You want to see him more calm, cool, more of a leader. And I kind of wonder if maybe Mac Jones is one of those guys that just, needs to take a leadership and tell everybody to, calm the fuck down. And I don't know. I will say this, like when Bailey Zapp came in there and just, is quick rhythm passing and everything just looked smoother. And it might be something to consider. I mean, it might be something to consider going into the off season. It really might, because I mean, this true story. Bailey Zapp threw for 8 gajillion yards in college. I'm exaggerating, but I mean, he doesn't have that big time arm, but he's a natural passer. I don't know. Now, I'll play the links in the description below, so please do. Hey, girls, give me a thumbs up. I love it. Dear Denver, beat the Rams. That is all. I don't know what the draft pick is right now. I did normally before I come on, I have some time to go over some mock draft stuff, and Denver Gator. I have the Florida Oregon State bowl game on DVR. I have not watched it. I by the way, if you're not aware, oh God, 41 minutes in name freeze. Anthony Richardson did not play in a bowl game. John Kitna's son is the backup quarterback for the Gators. He was arrested on child pornography charges. Now, before you say this is the worst thing in the world, I don't know how to say this lightly, but he's a 19-year-old guy. There was one kid I know, he was a senior. He was like a 4-star player. He's going to college. He got arrested, but what it was that he was 18, his girlfriend was 16 or I think 16. And so they were together, for like 2 years, so that was like 16, 14. And most states that's legal. But when he turned 18, she was 16. Dad didn't like it. I don't know how to say this politely. It was a white girl, black guy. I know that's kind of a touchy subject, but so anyway, he was arrested, but I mean, technically it's illegal, but so I don't remember how the story ended up, but if it's a situation like that, then okay. What I'm hearing though was that there was a bunch of stuff on like a Discord server, and I'm like, okay, I mean, his career may be over, but so it's a third string quarterback from Florida, and I've been checking on a 24/7 Sports. Florida's bringing in. He's not a 5-star player, but I think he made the ESPN top 50 or top 75. He's just on the cusp of being a 5-star. They got a quarterback who may be a true freshman starter next year. So I didn't get a chance to watch Florida, Oregon State. I do want to watch it because I really want to watch Oregon State. I've heard some really good things about them. So I may not watch it within the next couple of weeks, but I got it on DVR. I am going to watch it. What's up, everyone? Go Lions! Hatter's House 710. What's up, brother? Gotta feel bad for the Pats fans. I was getting a peppermint. Actually sounds pretty good. That sounds very. I actually got a link on Amazon to these C4 energy drinks. These things are fantastic. Strawburst strawberry. These things are amazing. So. It sounds fantastic, a peppermint frosty. Hey girl, what's up? Long time. I love the love here for Hey Girl. I think it's awesome. Denver beat the Gators. Denver beat the. Oh, okay. Then Denver beat the Rams. Okay. I knew there was some logic. He meant Rams. He said Gators. The Campbell see. Yeah. Yeah, he's seriously, he should get some MVP votes. He's not my guy, but he should get some votes. I got it. It took a minute. It took a minute. I blame the Kool-Aid and the blood. Yeah, where's keys when you need them? I actually like Minshew. He's a decent backup. Dallas better not think that's an easy win. I got feeling Dallas wins. So Dallas is weird because they have a high ceiling, low floor. They do. Dallas is such a strange team. When Dallas is at its very best, they're as good as anybody. But McCarthy's always had a sloppy team. Remember last year in the playoffs, it was like 13 penalties. They're built to be a run-heavy team. They want to throw the ball all the time. The defense, the last couple of weeks has looked bad. I don't know if Dan Quinn here's the deal. He's using a pretty simplistic system. Are they just figuring it out? Is Dallas a team that just takes its foot off the gas? I have no idea. But yeah, you're right. Minshew's a good quarterback, man. I seriously, like Minshew would be a great addition for a team like San Francisco. I mean, I think he'd be an upgrade over Purdy. I like Minshew quite a bit. You actually have a chance against Dallas with Minshew. And by the way, it's not official. It looks like he's going to start, but Hurts could come in. You never know. Hey, I'm in a great mood, man. Simping autocorrect is being. I got you. Bill C. Might be heated up a little bit. I think you're talking about Bill Belichick. I'm pretty sure he's safe, but you never know. The NFL's weird, man. The NFL's weird. Would a Chiefs-Chargers wildcard game make you nervous? Oh, yes. I know it's the Chargers, and they are talented. I know you're probably rooting for the Bengals to pick off the Bills in 2 weeks if they can avoid it. Yeah, the Chargers do scare me because it's the same thing like you said with the Cow. Was it you? Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the same thing with Dallas, all right? High ceiling. You could get a team that just has 15 penalties, 3 injuries. Herbert, I'm going to tell you something. I've said this several times on the show, and people think I'm crazy. I'm going to tell you this right now. If we're like on the playground and you can just pick guys, right? You're just picking guys. I'm not sure if I had to choose between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. I think I would actually choose Herbert. I think he's that good. I've been saying for years, Keenan Allen's one of the best receivers in the National Football League. He may be the best receiver in the AFC West. And I said this when Tyreek Hill was here. I know Devontae Adams is here. And here's the deal. Keenan Allen's been beat up all year. I think he's played in like half the games. But if you get Keenan Allen and Mike Williams healthy in the playoffs, they can play with anybody. The defense is not very good against the run, but Kansas City doesn't like to run the ball. So the Chargers should scare anybody because talent-wise, they're as good as anybody. The Charger ceiling is up there with anybody. I'm not sold on the coach. He does a lot of crazy decisions, but he's a risk taker, and it's one of those things where like if he goes for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and he makes it all the time, then yeah, it's a dangerous team. I don't want to see the Chargers. If I had a choice between Chargers and Miami, I'd rather see Miami, and both teams could be very dangerous. Yes, I am rooting for the Bengals. I do think Kansas City wins out. I really do. It's just, are the Chiefs going to be the 1 seed or the 2 seed? And I really want to be the 1 seed. And the reason why is Andy Reid off of a bye is better than any other coach. any other coach. So if they get that bye, I know that they win that first game, and then the second game, who knows? So, yeah. But that lateral was laughably bad from the Pats. I was watching some Patriots stream, and he was like, what the fuck at the time? So, okay. I didn't have a problem with it because don't go into overtime. You got it. Here's the deal. So it's I think it was Ramondre Stevenson just flips it back at the 25 or 30. I don't have a problem with it. And then Jacoby Myers runs backwards. And when he throws it backwards, I'm like, what? And then I see Chandler Jones. And at first I'm thinking he's going to get tackled. And when he stiff arms Jones, I'm like, and I really don't know what to think. Yeah. It's sitting at 4. Ooh, God, that's a good pick. I know you don't like him. But I've seen multiple mocks where CJ Stroud goes to Detroit at 4, and that makes a lot of sense. Carolina has some extra draft picks. I think that they'll try to leapfrog, or I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina and maybe Detroit makes a trade. There's several teams that really want to trade up for Stroud. I know you are not high on him, and I'd be kind of curious what Detroit wants to do if they pick 4. I'll be honest. If you're sold with golf, you can get a stud at 4 on the defensive line. I think it's Tyree Wilson. Is that right? The Texas Tech. I'm going to call him edge rusher, which is kind of lazy, but he seriously, he would be awesome on the outside. You would have terrors on the outside. Jalen Carter on the inside would actually be better. I don't think he's going to be available. I'm telling you that right now. I don't think he's going to be available. Do you get your quarterback? Let me throw something else out there. How would you feel about Anthony Richardson at 4? And then use your other first round draft pick. Let's say make the playoffs. Let's just say you make the playoffs and you win a game and you pick, and then you lose second round. So you pick at 4 and 24. Let's just have some fun here. 4 and 24. Take quarterback at 4. Just take the best player at 24. This is a deep edge rusher draft. You can probably get a good edge rusher. You mentioned last video, you mentioned the guy out of Florida State. I thought you were talking about the quarterback. You're talking about an edge rusher. You may be able to get him late in the first. The guy out of Notre Dame, Folksy, something like that. That would be interesting. Throw out a complete wild card. He may not be there at 24. Brian Meyer, the Notre Dame tight end. That would be a lot of fun. I know you don't use a tight end, but this guy is kind of unique. I would love TCU's quarterback. For some reason or another, NFL scouts don't like this kid, and I don't get why. He's big, good arm, tough, smart. I don't know why he's not a first-round caliber player. I don't know why. He looks like the total package. Seriously, I seriously think that he's a guy that's going to go somewhere in the mid-rounds. I want to see him go to the right team because I think he can play. I'm really big on sugar-free energy drinks. I don't – sugar's one thing I really try hard not to – I have some chocolates my Aunt Connie sent me. The sugar-free energy drinks, I drink these when the C4, I got some workout powder, but yeah, I'm not going to rant on energy drinks, but yeah. Giving some love to Denver Gator. I haven't had one in a long time, and the reason why is, okay, all right, short rant. I used to live next to Wendy's. I had Wendy's 5 to 6 times a week, and it was delicious. I I really enjoyed it. I mean, my girlfriend lived with me at the time, and we used to just get Wendy's like all the time. So I worked a full-time job and a part-time job. And I'd come home, I'd drive right by Wendy's. It was like a routine. I'd stop by almost every day. I would call and be like, you know, what do you want at Wendy's? I mean, so anyway, so I got burnt out on it. The Wendy's that was right next to my place got turned into a Starbucks. So I don't know where the closest Wendy's is. I went back to that old Wendy's like 4 or 5 years ago, and I think that was the last time. But I've only eaten fast food twice this year. I almost never eat fast food, believe it or not. Yeah, but I know you're young, so eat fast food now. You know, when you get my age, fast food's not good for you. But I have to admit that peppermint frosty does sound pretty good. Yeah, sounds like you need Christmas cocaine. Some positivity here. Happy holiday, everybody, from Hey Girl TV. And if you don't follow Hey Girl, follow her Vlogmas. You can post your channel in the comments, or when the show's over, post it in the comments, whatever you want to do. But everybody follow Hey Girl TV. Right now, the Lions need to give me a Christmas win. Haven't witnessed one in a while. You know what? I didn't think about it, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. Who are you playing? Carolina. Ooh, God, that is going to be a fun game. That is going playoff implications. If you check out my video, you can see who I picked as a winner. Damn, I miss Wendy's Frosties game. I haven't done it in a long time. Chocolate, yeah, chocolate. All right, so I used to get a Frosty. I used to dip my fries in a Frosty. It sounds gross. It's delicious. Fries in Frosties are fantastic. It sounds gross. It's seriously, trust me, it's fantastic. The shade of Panthers blue bothers me. It's like one shade dark. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. So it's kind of funny because like when I was doing, so if you watch my video, I tried to put the numbers in the same font as the team. So I had to do like a black outline because the Carolina blue on top of the Honolulu blue just looks weird. But yeah, I get it. Should only one blue cat. Thoughts on Thursday night game? I can't believe Jags Jets have playoff implications. LOL. I'd rather see the Jags in the playoffs than the Jets, even though their quarterback drama is a very interesting story. Yeah, it what a great game. What a great game. And I forgot to do that. I'm going to do that after the show. So usually what I do is I take the picks and I put them in the shorts. And so what I do is I'm going to do that. So I'm going to release the Jacksonville Jets. I do got the Jags winning that game. This is kind of why I wanted to watch Jets and Lions, is because I've heard different things about Zach Wilson. So I've heard he looked good. Stat line looks good. Jimmy says he threw about five passes that should have been picked off. Probably why I'm hearing he didn't look good. And it makes sense. It is in New York. I don't think weather is going to be an issue, even though it's going to be cold. I think I want to see Trevor. If Trevor Lawrence is officially going to be like the next superstar quarterback, you got to win against good teams on the road, and that defense is really good. The Jets defense is really good. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. Jacksonville, if they want to be a playoff team, you got to win games like this. And the Jets, they need to figure out. There's so many storylines because the Jets are banged up with injuries. Zach Wilson is the guy. I think that they really want to just take that next step forward. Can he do it? And then here's another thing. Can he just do enough to let the defense? I mean, what if he get a touchdown? What if Sauce Gardner, who might be the best corner in football, no offense, Jalen Ramsey, but when if Sauce Gardner can come up with a play? When if the defense does what, Jacksonville's been playing some good offensive ball. I mean, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. I do have the Jaguars winning. But I mean, when you look at a game, here's why I look at what team has a better quarterback. Of course, Jacksonville. What team has a better defense? It's New York. What team's at home? New York. What team has a better coach? Both coaches are pretty good. I'd give Peterson the edge. A creative offensive mind against the wide nine defense is kind of an advantage Jacksonville. Because the one thing about the wide nine defense, you're not going to see a lot of surprises defensively from the Jets. You kind of know what to expect. It's just, can you plan for it? Same thing with San Francisco. I mean, the San Francisco defense, you know what you're getting. I mean, there's not a lot of surprises, but can you stop it? And San Francisco has the best defense in football. So, but that Jets defense is really good. It's going to be a great game. Yeah, Jets, Jags, playoff implications. Big time playoff implications. Both teams are on the outside looking in, too. The Jets have a better. Let me do this here because the Jets are on the outside looking in, right? But the Jets. Oh no, okay, I lied to you. Okay, so the Jets I thought the Jets schedule would be a little more advantageous. It's not. They go on the road the next 2 weeks. They play at Seattle, at Miami. I thought they played 2 division opponents, but they go to Seattle. So no. The Jets. So if the Jets lose their last home game of the season, they have to go on the road at Seattle and then at Miami. I'd be shocked if they won both of those games. So if the Jets lose, they're out. Now, I would love it if Jets-Dolphins playoff spot number 7's on the line. It would be great. It might possibly happen. Jacksonville can lose if Tennessee loses out because they're 1 game behind Tennessee. And Tennessee is just falling apart right now. So, but yeah, what a big game for Thursday night. I like chocolate too. One Pride 40, chocolate all day. Good answer. I actually prefer chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate, man. I haven't. It's been a long time. I used to put my fries in it. It sounds gross. It's delicious. Vanilla isn't as bad. No, vanilla, dude. Wendy's. Seriously, like, I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I used to love. They had really good chicken nuggets, and the spicy chicken sandwich was fantastic. I used to convince myself, oh yeah, the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, it's healthy. It's not, but vanilla's pretty good. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever had one. I'm trying to, I don't think I've ever had one from Wendy's, but it sounds delicious, man. Bloody I used to golf, and me and some buddies, like 6 a.m. slamming Bloody Marys going golfing. I love Bloody Marys. I can only do them before noon. It's a weird damn thing. We are going BPA on defense. You know what? I could see that. I really could. And I'd be curious who you have. BPA, best player available. All right. Is it Will Anderson? Is it Tyree Wilson? I think Tyree Wilson's Texas Tech guy. Jalen Carter's available. Do you want him? There's a lot of good corners. I don't think you're taking a corner at, we'll call it 4. I don't think you're taking a corner at 4. You're right. I know you don't. It may be the pick. It might be the pick. And I honestly think, even though the Bears look like they're going to pick second, I really think it's going to be Young Stroud 1-2, and I think the Bears are going to trade down. I really do. And normally I would say teams in the division will trade with each other, but that's all that happened this draft, and then you guys trade Hawkinson to the Vikings of all teams. So could the Lions and Bears flip 4-2? Sure. You have the trade capital available, and it wouldn't be cheap. It wouldn't be cheap. I like eggnog, but it's got to be spiked, especially. I get it. Yeah, I get that. Alex, what's up, brother? Dan, I am not happy. I get it. I get it. Do me a favor, Alex. In the description below, you can go straight to Houston, Tennessee. Check it out. So, yeah. In the description below, there's a link to my picks video, and I put all the chapters in there. Just go to Houston, Tennessee, if you don't mind. Honestly, I would prefer Duggan. That's Lions quarterback. We need cornerback more than edge. Yeah, and at 24, you may be able to get, what's his name? Cam Smith out of South Carolina, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. There's another guy that I'm leaving out. There's several corners you could take at 24. How the fuck did the Texans do this weekend, week out, every single time? I'd rather see them. You know what? It's been improving, and there is a possibility that maybe win against Tennessee this week. We just got one. It's actually funny. So what happened was, I for a long time they weren't here. They just started bringing them here, I think last year. So So I went down to the Fort Worth. I hung out in Fort Worth a couple times. Love that area. I love that area. And so I went to Whataburger, and I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. All right, this is a long time ago. So apparently Patrick Mahomes said something about Whataburger, and they brought him here to Kansas City. And like when they first brought him here, the drive-thrus are backed up like 45 minutes, is what I heard. I've had fast food twice this year. I hardly ever eat fast food. But doesn't mean anything to you. I was going to say it's off 135th. It doesn't mean shit to you. But Whataburger's like about 5-10 minutes away. I haven't had it here yet. I very rarely eat fast food, but yeah, Dan, it's been a year since I've eaten fast food. It's tempting, but I've gotten used to it. You already know. Yeah, I know. You had a really bad health scare. I seriously, I've had fast food twice. One time I was in Vegas, and I was staying at Caesar's Palace, and so Caesar's Palace stocks your refrigerator, but you have to pay for everything that's in the refrigerator, so you have no room to put anything in there. And so they have a food court, and I got the Caesar salad. It was like $12, and it was like one of those little plastic, you know what I'm talking about, one of those like plastic bowls. It's something that should be like $3. It was like $12. So what it is that in 2021, I made all my bets in Vegas. So I went back after the season was over in 2022, spent a couple days in Vegas. I had some fun. But at Caesar's Palace, everything was so god awful expensive. And so I had several $1,000s. I drive. So I didn't want to drive with several $1,000s on me back from Vegas to Kansas City. It's a 22-hour drive. I was taking a long way. So I took the money to the bank. I bank at U.S. Bank. They have a branch near the Strip. Right next to it was McDonald's. And so what I did is I got McDonald's for like my last 2 days in Vegas. So yeah, that was the fast food, and it was like 2 Big Macs, 2 things of fries, and a 20-pack of nuggets. They called it like a number 2 meal or something. It was something that I've only seen in Vegas. So it was kind of strange, but everything was just so god awful expensive in the Vegas food court. So. Or the Caesar's Palace. So Yeah, I think everything's done to fry. Okay, okay, yeah, seriously, it's delicious. Life with Lala. Hello. Internet is on and off right now. I can't say one. Say hi. Life with Lala is so good to see you. She has a very interesting YouTube channel as well. Do check her out. I think she's going to put a link. If you get a chance, put a link. I know Hey Girl is. Hopefully she'll put a link in. A lot of people here have been following Hey Girl. So Life with Lala, you can follow her as well. It's so good to see you. Hutch was balling those stuff in the run, and that's why I liked him at 2, because I thought he'd have a huge impact stuffing the run as well as rushing the passer. I think that was a really underrated part of his game. And that's why I had him going at 2 to Detroit. I thought that was a pretty easy call. So really, I'll be honest, I think that's pretty interesting. Do the Ravens miss the playoffs? Man, they've been lousy the last couple of weeks. Even when Jackson was playing, they looked shaky. I don't think they do. I still think they play. I want to tell you they play Cincinnati one more time. I can't. Why am I not seeing Baltimore on here? Okay. Yeah, they do. Okay. So they play Atlanta at home. They play Pittsburgh at home, and they end the season at Cincinnati. They still have a chance to win the North. All right. I'm gonna ruin it for you. I do want you to check out the video. Do check out the video. Do check out all my picks. But I mean, Atlanta's starting a rookie quarterback. You're going to Baltimore. You're probably going to win that game. I said the same thing. I thought they'd win against Cleveland, but they're probably going to be. If they lose to Atlanta, then yeah. But I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win. So I do think they make the playoffs. I think there's a very good chance that they win that division. But that's going to be a big story this offseason, is because do you want to go with Lamar Jackson? Do you want to give him that $250 million guaranteed? Do you want to roll? If you're going to pick a quarterback to take over as a rookie starter in 2023 for the Ravens, this is the year to draft one. This is the year to draft one. Because you may be able to get Will Levis, Levi's. You may be able to get Anthony Richardson. Dugan out of TCU would be an interesting guy. That you by the way, where the Ravens pick in the draft, you can get a quarterback who can play as a rookie. Would you consider? Let me ask you this here. I mean, let's say Jimmy G, like I've been saying, let's say he goes to New York. Zach Wilson, maybe he goes to Baltimore. I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting story. I do think Lamar Jackson's going to stay with Baltimore. I really do, but that's going to be a very interesting off-season story. I think Brady comes back too. No way he wants to end his career like this. Plus, to be motivated to bounce back. The question is, who do we keep as far as free agent go? Changes must be made. You have to fix your offensive line. That's the number one thing. You got to fix that. I know you had some injuries, but you got to fix that. The offensive line's not acceptable. If you doesn't matter who your quarterback is, fix that. Fix the offensive line. Then in free agency, you're going to probably lose some players. I mean, you're probably going to lose some players. Rashad White doesn't mean anything to you. He's Raytown. He's from Raytown. He played high school in Raytown, which is like 20 minutes this way. Local Kansas City kid. So I'm a big Rashawn White fan. Maybe you get rid of Leonard Fournette. I don't know what the story is with his contract. I thought he signed a 3-year, $21 million deal. I think it's year 1 or year 2. Yeah. Fix the offensive line, and you're going to make some moves in this offseason. You're going to lose some players. But yeah, I think Brady's coming back, and I think he's going to come back to Tampa Bay for another year. That's my opinion. I don't know if Wendy's does it anymore. They used to have the spicy chicken nuggets, just like they used to have the spicy chicken, and that was amazing. Their nuggets used to be really good. Wendy's nuggets used to be fantastic. This is God, I mean, this is like almost 15. I'm gonna say 15 years ago. I mean, I haven't had Wendy's nuggets in a long time. Man, did you hear about the Chiefs fan that was robbing banks apparently? What story? I did not hear that. I did not hear that. So you let me know. Dolphins are making the playoffs. Are they on the outside looking in? I don't remember. Okay, so right now they occupy the 7th spot. So here's how the AFC picture looks. The Chargers and the Dolphins are 8-6. Chargers are 6. Miami is 7. And then New England and the Jets are both 7-7. Jacksonville, the Raiders, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh is 6-8. And the best part is all these teams are going to be like playing each other. Miami, if they win, honestly, 10 gets you in, 9 might. So they got to win 2 out of 3 to definitely get in, but realistically one might do it. Miami has, let's see here what their schedule is. They play. So they have their home against Green Bay on Christmas, at New England, and then the last game of the season host the Jets. If they win 2, definitely. If they can win that last game of the season, there's a very good chance that they get in. I don't know if New England's getting in. I'm sorry. I don't know if Miami makes that last spot or not. McDonald's, Houston's winning, Dan. I know I'm lying stuff. I have nothing else. Listen, below in the description link, Alex, is a link to my Week 16 picks. Go check out Houston, Tennessee. If you don't mind, put a comment in that video with you could say Houston. You can predict the score. I'd really appreciate it. I prefer Chick-fil-A grilled chicken nuggets with kale salad. Don't forget the lemonade, please, and thank you. Yeah, Chick-fil-A has been in the Kansas City area for the last 5 years. I have had Chick-fil-A a couple of years ago, and it's really good. Chick-fil-A is easily the best customer service out of any fast food place. Easily the best customer service. They are A+. I left the name. Yeah, Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter Jr. is just skyrocketing up. Gonzalez is too. I think it's Cam. I got his name wrong before. It's Cam Smith, Sam Smith, out of USC. When I say USC, it's South Carolina. There's several corners that are going to go in the first round. So. Been away from the South for 12 years, ate Whataburger twice in 3 days. As soon as I, so we know Denver Gator likes Whataburger. You know what? I think the first time I had Whataburger, I had the patty melt. I think it's all over the Midwest or all over the country. I drew a blank. I want to say Chubby's or Checkers or anyway. There's this fast food place that has a fantastic patty melt. They have those little shoestring fries, those thin ones, and they have this like special. I can't remember the name of it. Big Mac, extra sauce, extra pickles. I had 3 this year. Lala, my bestie. Yes. But we should go Carter to pair with Hutch and go heavy secondary. Listen, seriously. I'm hearing these off-field issues. I don't believe that that's true. I think it's just thing people are saying because a lot of teams are trying to get him to drop. But if I was the Lions and if Carter's available, that's what I would do because you want the inside outside. Also, Ozer Ike has been a disaster. So, it's that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'm so glad. At least you guys are thinking about me, which really means a lot. Would you rather be more terrified to play the Lions or the Packers in the playoffs? Ooh. If I'm Minnesota, okay, so let's say you're Minnesota. Which one do you want to play, Lions or Packers? Oh, God, that's a tough one. Okay, so with the Packers, it's Bacchiardi. I'm butchering his name. He was healthy and he was playing pretty good. Then he had an appendectomy. Is that right? His appendix burst. He didn't play last week. If he comes back and he's playing healthy, if he comes back and he's healthy, that's such a big deal. Aaron Rodgers gets his starting left tackle back. That is huge. That's a complete game changer. Because those young wide receivers are coming back healthy and they're making plays and Rodgers trusts them. That's dangerous. That if I'm Minnesota and I could choose between the Lions and the Packers, with the Packers, it's health. Because if those two rookie receivers are healthy, their left tackle, Bacchiardi's healthy, I don't want to play Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Bacchiardi's out, then I would be more scared to play the Lions. And the reason why is that you have a team that's really not playoff. Minnesota's not a playoff caliber team. And I say that because I know they're going to the playoffs, but a team that's built for the playoffs has a good defense and a stud quarterback. All right? Minnesota doesn't have either one of those things. I know Cousins threw for like 470 and he makes all these great plays. But I don't remember a time where it's been like a clutch play in a big game. Hey, yeah, you came back from 33 against the Colts. Fantastic. Yeah, you won the NFC North. Great. He hasn't had that moment in a big, important game, So the answer is, I would be more terrified to play. It's not really an answer, but I'm going to say the Packers. I don't want to play the Packers if they're healthy. That would scare the shit out of me. It really would, because if Rodgers is hot and he has time, you don't want to play that dude. Bottom line, though, I mean, an appendectomy, I have no idea how long it takes. I remember Matt Castle had one and came back like 2 weeks later. And he was not 100%, but I mean, he played. Everybody's different. So I know it's not the best answer, but it really depends on injury. Getting our safety back against Dallas, thank God. And Jalen Hurts says he's going to play. Really? Okay, so Slasher says Hurts says he's going to play. I last thing I saw was Minshew is going to start, but if Hurts plays, everything's off. So it's interesting. Slasher, if you don't follow me on social media, do follow me on social media. Hit me up, shoot me a DM if you can send me something, because the last thing I saw was Minshew is going to start. Yeah. Chick-fil-A customer service, easily the best. Whataburger is not the business. Tastes like giant McDonald's cheeseburger, but much really okay. All right, might just be the name. I think Whataburger is a little more expensive. I haven't had it here. They are so high, not anywhere. Carl's Jr. There is a Carl's Jr. Around here. I know I've had it, but I don't remember the last time. When you're on a live show, you should have the ability to be liked by more than. I think so too. I read Brady had a lot of his money in FTX, like 100. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It maybe is why he got divorced. I didn't know that. That's actually interesting. I do know that Trevor Lawrence asked for half of his rookie contract to be paid in Bitcoin, and that was a big story. I think when I heard this, Bitcoin was at like 50 or 60,000 a Bitcoin and just rising up. I have well, with it dropping, I think currently I have like $1,000 in Bitcoin. So I started buying Bitcoin when it was like at 10,000, and then when it went up to 64, I thought I was the smartest guy in the world. Now that it's back down, I'm basically, because I was buying $25 a week, it was just an automatic withdrawal, and I stopped. I want to say when it was about 50,000, I just stopped. So the majority of my purchase was when it was low. So like today, right now, I haven't checked what Bitcoin is. I think Bitcoin's like at 18. I'm about at even for I have about $1,000 total in it. I didn't know about that though. That's kind of interesting. But the Dolphins beat the Packers. Okay. Let me double check here. If the Dolphins beat the Packers, the Packers would be eliminated. They would be mathematic. They would be mathematically eliminated. They would be 6-9, and they would be 8. You know what? Actually, I don't think they would be Okay, so if the Dolphins beat the Packers are eliminated. Not mathematically, but you would have to have a lot of weird things happen. Like they're not mathematically eliminated, but they're eliminated. And that's going to be a big game. That's a big game. So you can get a Christmas present. You can get the Packers out. The Packers, if the Packers win, they have a chance for that 7 seed. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very interesting. Cool. Yes. Yeah. Carl's Jr., Whataburger are more expensive. I think they're much better. I haven't had it, but there's another place that's open 24 hours and it's actually pretty good. Last time I had fast food, I stopped in there. It was like 4 a.m. It was delicious, and I'm drawing a complete blank on the name. This is one of the greatest things about doing a live stream is that you never know. We had one where we did sports movies. We had one where we did regular movies. Today we're doing fast food. We're doing fast food today, and it's kind of funny because Whataburger just came to Kansas City. Chick-fil-A came to Kansas City. I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. I wish I could remember the name of that place. They're open 24. They were open 24 hours, and it was like 4 a.m. It was a couple of years ago, like 4 a.m. I was just starving. I was like, look, I don't want to cook anything. It's good. It's going to taste good. And God, I don't remember the name of that place. I don't remember the name of that place. It was weird because they have like tacos and some other stuff too. That's really damn good. They had this like weird Oreo pie. It was like an Oreo pie, which is also really good. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of that place. I think it is In-N-Out. I think it is In-N-Out. It may have been In-N-Out. Yeah. I should know this. I can drive there, but what do you think, man? I say Hutchinson is a legitimate contender over Sauce for Defensive Rookie of the Year. One Pride says, Okay. I think Sauce is defensive rookie of the year. He's my defensive rookie of the year. Should Hutchinson be mentioned? Yeah, he should be. He 100% should be mentioned. You know what? I think it is in and out. Now that I think about it. Yeah, but I have Sauce, but Hutchinson. Okay, so the way these awards work, you pick 1, 2, and 3. I would probably go Sauce, probably Hutchinson. Would be number 2. But he deserves some consideration. Apparently, it's a super fan. Apparently, Chiefs-aholic. That was Robin Banks, an animesque mask and outfit. He wears a Chiefs Kingdom tank top. You know what? Okay, so Chiefs-aholic. I have heard of him. And he's at the Chiefs home game wearing an animal costume. I have heard of Chiefs-aholic. I actually might follow him on Twitter. There's a few Chiefs fans that I follow. I've been unfollowing a lot of them because I'm just hearing stupid fanboy stuff. There was a super Chiefs fan who called himself the X Factor. He got banned by Arrowhead. He threw a drink at a fan, and then that fan knocked him out. I mean, when I say knocked him out, I mean literally knocked him out. He threw a punch. He just fell right over. But the clip showed him starting X Factor, throwing drink first, and then it was all over social media how he's a felon. I know the guy. When I say know the guy, we used to work together. It's kind of funny. I didn't recognize him. So, me and him were talking. And if you have a conversation with me, we start talking football. He goes, yeah, I'm X Factor. I'm like, you're gotta be kidding me. Cause like, he would sit, his seats were, in the end zone front row. And he had this whole outfit that he would wear and he would always be on the Jumbotron. And, so anyway, he does have a criminal record, but he also had some extensive drug use, but he also did a lot of work with charities. And what he would do is he would take he had like 6 or 7 seats, and he would take a bunch of kids. And because he knew a lot of Chiefs players, he would have a lot of Chiefs players sign autographs, and he did a lot of charity work. I hope it's not that guy, but he goes by X Factor. He gets banned from social media quite a bit, and a lot of people were wanting him to get banned because of his criminal past and drug use, which he was adamant, which he was kind of open about. I hope it's not him. Chiefs-aholic, I think I follow on social media. I'll look into this. Amazement, if you follow me on social media, like all my social media links are below. Follow me, DM me. I'll do some checking on this. But I this is the very first time I'm hearing about it. Yeah, one pride. Sacks don't mean everything. 7 is still good. Having 2 interceptions for a defensive end is pretty unusual. He's been a big help in tackling. I've seen him make him. He's been really good against stopping the run. That was like the number one thing I really liked about him, is that he's really active against the run. That's one of the things I loved about him at Michigan, and that's something that the Lions needed a lot of help in this year. He's an excellent player. Does everything. Really, 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 really good. Woolen. I forgot about Woolen. All I would need is a top 3 pick secure to win on Christmas Eve and a booty call. That Yo, what's up to the Chiefs fan? Right? I don't. This is the very first time I'm hearing about this. DM me if Chiefs-aholic. I actually think I'm following on Twitter. I think I'm following him on Twitter. I've been unfollowing a lot of Chiefs fans on social media, but I think I know. I think I know who Chiefs-aholic is. DM me, and if I know anything, I'll share what I do know. But this is the very first time I'm hearing about it. Very first. So I'm kind of floored by it. Yeah, so I seriously, Sauce Gardner might be the best corner in football. Forget being a rookie. He might have overtaken Jalen. I can't. I'm so embarrassed. Number 5 on the Rams, Jalen Ramsey. God, I can't believe I forgot Jalen Ramsey's name. Man, God, that's embarrassing. I'm really embarrassed about that. Yeah, Sauce Gardner might be the best corner in football. Forget just being a rookie. He's that good. He's that good. Yeah, the dude looks nuts. He won't be seen. I seriously, I'll look into it. I first time I'm hearing about it. Ramsey is overrated. AF. I can't stand it. I seriously think Sauce Gardner might be better. Ramsey, I had his okay. Every year, the best corner in football changes. All right, it's that volatile. Ramsey's really good, folks. He's really good, and he plays the best receiver. He follows the best receiver. I think his play's gone down a little this year, and part of that has to do with the Rams' defense not being as good. But I think he's really good. I think Sauce Gardner might be better, and I said this when the draft was going on. It wouldn't surprise me if in 3 to 5 years, the Sauce Gardner is the best corner in football. He might be the best corner in football today. The Chiefs fan base is – I've been unfollowing a lot of people on Chiefs social media. A lot of people. It's seriously – it's crazy. But the guy that Chiefs-aholic, this is my first time hearing about. I'll look into it, but yeah, the Chiefs. I'm going to tell you something. Lions fans are usually better than Chiefs fans, and it's not even close. Like, I'm going to tell you something. All the Lions fans that are here, you guys were here when you're 3-13 and won last year. You were loyal when Patricia was screwing your whole team up. Chiefs fans wouldn't be that loyal. Chiefs fans would not. I know this for a fact because I was a season ticket holder when the Chiefs were 2-14, and you couldn't find a Chiefs fan. A lot of Chiefs fans are more Mahomes fans. Like let's just say Mahomes got traded to the Jets. Let's just for fun. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom would become Jets fans. It's Chiefs. Kansas City is a very fair weather town. When the Royals won the World Series, it was forever Royal. That was like the big thing. Everybody wore Royal stuff. Everybody was saying forever Royal. 3-4 years later, Kauffman Stadium's like 2/3 empty. I knew a guy who actually went to the World Series, and I said, "Why are you going to the World Series?" He's like, "I don't know anything about baseball. I just want to say I went to a World Series." And that's Kansas City in a nutshell. Kansas City is one of the most fair weather towns you'll ever see. That's why I cheer against KU, MU, and K-State. I don't want any of those teams to be good because whatever team is good on the college ranks, that's what Kansas City follows. Like March Madness, everybody is a Jayhawks fan. You hear that. I've heard this so many times from Kansas Jayhawk fans. I was like, when you talk about KU, I always hear the same thing. I like KU basketball when they're winning, and that's what you hear. Now KU basketball's been winning since I don't know since Roy Williams in the 90s. I think he elevated it to something, but like every March Madness, everybody becomes a Jayhawks fan. When KU football started 5-0, they were coming out of the woodworks. MU years and years ago when they were ranked number 1, I heard that MIZZOU chant is the most annoying thing in football. I can't stand it. I remember when Bill Schneider took K-State and they were like ranked number 1, like downtown Kansas City was all in purple. Chiefs Kingdom is not a good fan base. It's not. It really isn't. I'm an exception. I've been a season ticket holder since '89. The Chiefs could go winless. I'd still be a fan. I'm a minority. I'm not a majority. You Lions fans, stick by your team. I know this because I've seen you guys in the comments. And Lions fans are easily better than Chiefs fans. I agree, Slasher, grossly overrated and toxic. Chiefs fans, yeah. I don't know about that, but he sucks, man. Like three a good season with Jags. That really impressed. He's last year he was the best corner in football. Yeah, this isn't an echoes chamber, so you can always have an opinion. Last year, I think Ramsey was the best corner in football. I seriously, Sauce Gardner might be the best corner in football. Yeah, he talks a lot of trash to him. He was a beast in his prime. He's not. I think he's still really good. He may not be the best though. Sauce is. I seriously think Sauce Gardner might be the best corner in football. I seriously believe that. Slay is having one of the best seasons statistically for a quarterback. He's very good. Slay was. I remember you guys were talking about him, and I remember him and Patricia didn't get along, but Slay's a very good corner. Jalen Ramsey, 70 targets, 46. That's not that. Wow, that's terrible. Let me ask you this here, Slasher. Where are you getting these numbers from? If you're getting them from PFF, they don't count. But Hutch is going to be a top 5, top 10 edge. Yeah. Absolutely. Dude, I think Hutchinson is just going to be awesome. I really do. I think I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I haven't voted, but it wouldn't surprise me if Hutchinson goes to a Pro Bowl. I expect him to go to several in his career. You guys got a good pick. But I would love Porter. Reminds me of Champ Bailey. Seriously, it's an interesting comparison. I don't like comparing players. I like Joey Porter Jr. quite a bit. Doesn't remind me of Champ Bailey at all. They're complete. Champ Bailey at Georgia played wide receiver and corner, and I hate to say it, but like kind of reminded me like a Deion Sanders. Like there was talk that he was going to be like a Deion Sanders type of athlete coming out, and he never was at Deion caliber, but I mean, went to the Hall of Fame, deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Joey Porter Jr. doesn't remind me like that at all. The one thing I want to see what he does at the combine, because I'll be honest with you, Joey Porter, even though I think he's going to be a first round corner, he's a guy that might be better suited to play safety in the league. I like his physicality and I like his toughness. I like his size. I don't think he's a Champ Bailey type of athlete, though. And Bailey, by the way, Bailey wasn't a Deion Sanders type, but I remember coming out of Georgia, there was a lot of comparison. Sauces Revis. Daryl Revis was really good, folks. Oh, this is a good one. Lamar, Lawrence, Hurts, cut one, sign one, start one, go. You got to start with I would start Hurts. I would sign Lawrence. I would cut Lamar. Start Hurts. Yeah. We agree. No, yeah. Matt Patricia and Darius. Yeah, I heard all about that. That was crazy. Pro Football Reference, Dan Ruther. You know what? That's I use Pro Football Reference quite a bit. So wow, I didn't know that. Here's the thing though. one thing I will say is that he does follow the number one receiver. I didn't know those aren't good numbers, though. And I use Pro Football. I'm doing a I'm going to have it released. I'm going to try to release it. I'm already working on it. I'm going to try to release it right before the playoffs start, right after week 18. Top 10 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl, an all-time list. I already have the teams. I already have the order. I just have to make the video. And I use Pro Football Reference for a lot of that statistical data. It's actually funny. I could show you, but I'm not going to. I have 11 Pro Football Reference tabs pulled up right now with those teams linked because I already have the list. I have a spreadsheet. Top 10 teams have never made Super Bowl, an all-time list, and I want to release it. I'm going to do a lot of NFL history stuff. I don't know how big of a fan you are of NFL history. I'm going to do a lot of NFL history stuff during this off season. Originally, I was going to have a separate channel, just NFL history, but what I'm going to do is during the off season, I'm going to do like top 10 Chiefs of all time, top 10 running backs of all time. I'm going to redo that list. I'm going to redo my top 10 Chiefs list. And I'm going to have top 10 teams I've never made the playoffs. I already have the list compiled. I just got to make the video. And then I'm going to do top 10 Super Bowl teams of all time. I'm going to have that released right. I'm going to try to do this after the wild card. It may be after the divisional. I'm sorry. After the divisional round. It may be after the conference championships. I don't know, but I'm already working. I already have the list ready, and it took a while. I've been working on the top 10 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl for a long time. The last 2 to 3 weeks, I've been tweaking with the order, and then I'm not going to show you the list, but I'm going to pull it up. My own. Okay, here it is. I have 7 teams as an honorable mention. I have 7 teams that could make the list, and I've been kind of playing around with it, but I have the list pretty much ironed out. So he should. Amon-Ra 100% should go to the Pro Bowl. If he doesn't, it's a shame because he's been good. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know who the Eagles should draft anymore. Pick's going to sit around 8 to 12, depending on who wins and losses. That's a tough one because if I remember right, Miles Sanders is a free agent. So you may want to draft his replacement, Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas. I know Arizona loves that kid, and he's also from, I want to say Phoenix. I know he's from Arizona originally, but like almost every mock draft has Bijan Robinson going to Arizona, and that makes a lot of sense. If you lose Miles Sanders in free agency, which I think could happen, I mentioned him earlier. I believe it's Brian Meyer, the Notre Dame tight end. That might be somebody else that you consider. I know you already have Dallas Goedert, who's one of my favorite players. You could this guy's a unique talent. You may consider him. Yeah, I would go Hurts, who's my MVP. If he doesn't play, then it's up for grabs. But Hurts right now is my MVP. No love for PS2, maybe not number 1, top 5. That's who Joey Porter Jr. reminds me of, is PS2. That's who he reminds me of. He's really good. If you haven't seen Patrick Surtain 2 play, I was a big fan of his dad. He played in Kansas City. He was with Miami for a while. He's really good, folks. PS2 is a top 5 corner. No, yeah. You got the PS2 gets some love. And I agree with you, Denver Gator. He looked great in the Chiefs uniform. Well, you definitely don't need a corner slasher. Do you prefer Gonzalez? I don't. You know what? I think it's scheme fit. I think Gonzalez today, right now. All right. Today, right now, if I want a cover guy, I would take Gonzalez. If I'm playing a more zone scheme, like the Jets do, the 49ers do, like the Tampa 2 type, I play a lot of zone. I definitely want Joey Porter. I think Porter's more physical. I think Gonzalez is probably a better athlete. It depends on the scheme. I want to see what these guys do at the combine. That's going to be important. A lot of people say the combine's not important. I don't agree with that at all. I want to see how these guys do. I'm keeping YouTube TV year round, so I'm going to be able to. I'm going to watch Senior Bowl. I'm going to watch East West Shrine Game. I'm going to watch all the practices. I want to see more from both. Like the scheme Kansas City plays, where they want to play a little press, they want to play bump and run. A guy like Porter's a little more physical than a guy like Gonzalez. So it's scheme. It's all about scheme. I think having a guy whose dad played in the NFL is a big plus. Take a look at Hutchinson. Because the one thing about the NFL that's so different than one thing about football that's different is that the NFL is a different game than college. Every other sport is just bigger and faster. The NFL is different than college. And I think that a guy like Porter may adapt to the NFL a little faster. A lot of things factor. We are not going to sign Bradbury one pride. He's going to get a big bag from somebody. He's having an insane season, all things considered. He's mostly going up. Yeah, Bradbury's a guy that I'd have a hard time believing Philly can keep him. So, Patricia's the reason why Slay and Diggs are both out of town. Both these guys wanted to say, fuck. And after that, oh, God, this is a good one. Oh, God, this is such a good one. Vrabel, McVay, Tomlin, fire one, demote one, hire one, go. Oh, God. I'm starring this. I'm going to come back. That's a good one. I need a second. Maybe actually, I definitely know we aren't going to extend. Kazir White's a guy that you guys stole him. He was such a good player with the Chargers. And Nakobe Dean will come in next season. He looks really good from small sample size against the tight. Yeah. So Kazir White, I have no idea how you got him for like 1 year. Dude, he was awesome. I'd go hire Tomlin, demote Vrabel, fire McVay. That's wow. Wow. I'm gonna come back. What about Edward Slasher? I'm sorry. He's getting extension one price, having such a good season right now. 124 tackles and 2 sacks ain't bad. Yeah, he's really good. I agree. Vrabel's an oddball because he won Super Bowl. He's underrated. Vrabel's really good. I'm coming back. I have that saved. One more 100-yard game, he should get 1,000. Dallas Goddard's extended for 3 more seasons. I think he's a top 5 tight end. He can block. He's really good. Racks up so much. He's really good. Don't be surprised, though. You just go 2 tight ends. Why not? Why not? And both these guys you can split out wide as receivers. What about Winfield Jr. Danny's probably our best defensive player. He's been banged up all year. He's really good. He plays safety, so we're talking about corners. But I loved him. I love this dad too. He's really. By the way, Winfield Jr. is pretty underrated. Gonzalez or Porter depends on scheme, man. Oh, if you're talking for your Lions, I would probably say Gonzalez. I haven't noticed the Lions playing a lot of press and a lot of man. You play a lot of man, you don't play a lot of press. That's a tough one. Fellas, if you want a girlfriend, make sure you date a Lions fan. She'll never cheat on you. Star Trade, Cut Qatar, or Just Dance. All right, let me get back. All right. This is so hard. All right. I would hire McVay. I would hire McVay. That's what I would do. I would hire McVay. He won a Super Bowl. I know Tomlin has too, but McVay has really changed the NFL. So McVay is the hire. I would demote Tomlin and I would fire Vrabel. And I hate to say that because I think Vrabel is definitely a top 10 coach. Vrabel's had a ton of injuries. Him and the general manager did not see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially E.J. Brown. Vrabel was really pissed about that. God, that's so hard. I would demote Tomlin. And even though he's had a terrible year this year, McVay is my answer. You know, I've only played Guitar Hero, and I have not played Guitar Hero. The last time I played Guitar Hero, I was hanging out with this girl and her daughter, and we all played Guitar Hero together. She had the drum set, and her daughter, it was kind of funny. Her daughter and I just became Facebook friends, and her daughter has a kid. So that's all. Yeah, we all played Guitar Hero together. And she had like the drum set. It was a lot of fun. I remember that. It was a lot of fun. So I don't know. I've never played Just Dance. So that's a good one. I will say you're right about Amani. He does. That dude, Clark Phillips out of Utah, honestly, doesn't look bad. He had 6 interceptions. He looks small for a corner. This is kind of why the combine's important. I really want to see what these guys look. The tight end out of Utah, I don't know if you guys, I can't remember his name, but the tight end out of Utah, he's a guy, if he lights up the combine, he can go top 15. I don't think he will. I think I've heard second round. He's a guy. There's so many guys on the combine. As far as corners are concerned, I really want to see what these guys, because I'm hearing Joey Porter is 6'2", 195, runs a 4.35. If that's the case, that might put him in the top 10. I don't think he's going to measure like that. Gonzalez, I want to see what he measures out at. I want to see what he runs. There's so much I want to see. Honestly, I was about ready to bring his name up. I would love to draft him with Gonzalez. This is why I don't do mock drafts till after the combine. This kid, by the way, when they played the Pac-12 championship, they're talking the second round grade. If this guy is a good combine, he can not only go in the first round, he can go like top 15. This guy, if you haven't watched him, this guy catches an insane amount of balls. Just phenomenal hands, above average athleticism. I want to see what he does. I really want to see what he does at the combine. If he has a bad combine, he could drop to the third. I think that this is a kid he goes to the right team, could just be awesome. Don't be surprised if a team like Kansas City picks him up, even though Kansas City has like 4 or 5 tight ends that are like former receivers. It's matter of fact, it's kind of funny. Blake Bell is coming off of IR. He's a tight end. The Chiefs use like 4 or 5 tight ends. It's kind of strange, but I want to see what he does. I'm going to get into. We're going to do it. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about changing my draft videos and doing weekly, just like 1 through 4 picks, and then 5 through 8. 9 through 12, doing that. So I haven't played. The other 2 I haven't played, but I did have some fun playing Guitar Hero a long time ago. 890 yards, 8 touchdowns, great for a tight end. I agree. Yeah, I gotta see. The combine for me is very, very important. A lot of people don't agree. I do, and right after the combine, I'm going to start doing draft videos. In the past, I've done 32 draft videos for 32 teams. I may just do 1 through 4 and then do like 8 weekly picks. I haven't really figured that out yet. It is. One probably says I think our draft class is top tier. It is. Yeah, it's very close to the Jets. The Jets have no. You know what? Actually, I don't have my list here. I can't remember if it was Baltimore or the Jets that I had number 1. By the way, Baltimore's getting Ojabo. He's getting ready for the playoff push. I apologize. My camera is out of focus. Okay, there it is. I can't remember if I had Baltimore or the Jets. I think I had the Jets and then Baltimore number 2. I didn't like the Lions draft, and I'm looking wrong. But yeah, the Jets as of today, and Lions number 2, maybe. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Also, Dan, do you see Josh Sweat? He's up to 9.5 sacks. I've always liked Josh Sweat. I've always liked Josh Sweat. And I think Reddick, yeah. So you got Reddick's a guy I absolutely loved. If you don't remember his story, walk on corner at Temple when Matt Rule was the head coach at Temple. He was like 6 foot, 180, and just grew like an inch or two, put on like 50, 60 pounds. He went from corner to defensive end, and Arizona for a couple of years, they couldn't figure out what to do with him. They played him on the outside as an outside linebacker in a 3-4. It really didn't work. They moved him inside. That didn't work. He looked like a bust. Then I believe it was Chandler Jones who got injured, and they put Reddick at defensive end, and the light bulb went off, and then he parlayed that into a free agent contract in Carolina when Matt Rule was there, and he played awesome in Carolina. Went to Philly, and he's playing like a stud. I didn't like the trade. I still think the trade was a mistake. And the reason why is that if you didn't make that trade, you could have drafted Christian Watson, who would easily give you one more win, probably. Now, in the future, is Jameson Williams going to be better than Christian Watson? Maybe. Pascal, you didn't have to draft him at 46. He would have been available at 66. Hutchinson at 2 was a no-brainer. I kept on telling you guys that. You guys kept on arguing with me. It's one of the few things about the Lions I got right. Joseph, I didn't like that pick. The NFL Network had a 5th-round grade on him. I didn't know much about him. I know he started 1 year. There's a few other players I would have taken ahead of him, including who the Chiefs drafted, Leo Chenal, who's starting to play well. But, I mean, Kirby Joseph or Leo Chenal, as of today, looks like a no-brainer. But during the draft, I mean, Leo Chenal, a lot of people thought would go in the 1st round, and you took a guy who the NFL Network had rated in the 5th. So that kind of surprises me. Everyone thought he was going to be a bust after his down year with the Cardinals. He really filled his shoes. Well, here's the deal. He was a bust for like 3.5 seasons, and then he was a backup when Chandler Jones got hurt. He was a backup, and he was a complete bust because they tried him on the outside. He failed. They moved him on the inside. He failed. He was a backup. Then Chandler Jones got hurt, and he was elevated to starter status. And then, boom, the light bulb went off, and he exploded. And the Cardinals would have kept him, except that was year 4 on his rookie deal. When you're a 1st-round pick, you have the 5th-year option. Well, they obviously weren't going to give him a 5th-round extension because he was a backup. But once he had that 4th year, there was nothing you could do. But yeah, I mean, he was a bust for 3.5 years. Well, if I remember right, Chandler Jones got hurt like week 1 or week 2. So it was like 3 years, but I mean, he played bad for 3 years. Yeah, that surprises me. I think Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams definitely needs to put on the NFL 20. When I watch him, it looks like if he gets bumps off the drop, maybe it's just rust, but speed is still there. He's going to have to put on some weight this offseason. We're going to have to wait and see. I didn't like it because I wanted to see what Jameson Williams did at the combine. Is he a 4.3 guy? Is he a 4.4 guy? Was he going to come into the combine at 185 or 175? There was a lot of questions. There was also, I mean, like seriously, in college football, you rotate players in a lot. You rotate players in a lot. He didn't play at all at Ohio State? Like on the college level, you always rotate players in. All right. Ohio State has a litany of NFL wide receivers on their roster. But Williams couldn't even see the field. Like, that was a red flag. And so I didn't like that. But we'll have to see. Kirby's plays. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really, really, really good players still heavy on Hamilton. It was funny because Hamilton didn't even start for the first part of the season, and then PFF called him like week 8 the best safety in football, and it's like, well, that's why I hate PFF along with 1 million other reasons. But Hamilton's starting to play better. I'll be honest, I hated the Houston Texans draft because they took Petrie, and I was like, why'd you take Petrie? You could take Hamilton. Petrie looks like he's a better player than Hamilton. By the way, the Houston Texans, like, their draft is amazing. Pierce is going to come short of 1,000 yards as a rookie. It's like 937, and he's going to miss like the last 4 or 5 games of the year. Probably should be a Pro Bowler. Petrie should be a Pro Bowler. They should have took Sauce Gardner, but the corner they picked at number 3, I think, could go to a couple Pro Bowls. He looks really good. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. Kenyon Green started every game as a guard. Just been playing okay. But yeah, and I gave Houston Texans a C-. Alex was not happy with that either. Nope, nobody agreed with any of my draft grades this year. Next year, I'm going to do a live stream for my draft grades and reveal them live. I'm not going to do a video. Holmes hit on a lot of guys. Yeah, he will. He'll put on the NFL 20, like I like to call it. It may not be 20 pounds exact, but he needs to hit an NFL weight room. Even though I've seen some videos about the Alabama weight room, and supposedly the Alabama weight room is better than some NFL weight rooms, but it's a different type situation. So yeah, he needs to put on some weight. And I think that just being healthy and being integrated in the offense for a whole off-season OTAs and all that stuff, it'll be there's a lot to be excited about if you're a Lions fan. But do we have a top 5 draft? I haven't gone through everything. And here's a drill. You really never know until several years down the road. I think the Jets do have the best. Excuse me. Jets do have the best. Baltimore could potentially have a great draft. They got several players. And then Ojabo, he's their 2nd-round pick. He's just starting to play. If he ends up being a Pro Bowl pass rusher, then the Ravens. The Texans, their 4th-round pick was Damian Pierce. He looks like a Pro Bowl running back. Petrie, 2nd-round pick. He's seriously, he probably won't go to a Pro Bowl, but Petrie's a Pro Bowl caliber safety. He's been playing lights out. He's really good. Derek Stingley, that's the guy. He was number 3. Sauce Gardner was number 4. They made a mistake there, but Stingley may end up being a Pro Bowl corner in his own right. A lot of people love the Kansas City Chiefs draft. Not as good as Detroit's. So, but right now, this year, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. He's a hard worker and put a nasty block on a Minnesota corner. I lied to you and told you I still have the game on DVR. I probably won't get around to it. I need to watch them and the Jets. I'm going to try to do that before Thursday Night Football. There is a possibility later tonight I'm going to watch Jets Lions, but I have Lions Vikings on DVR. I said I was going to watch it. I didn't get around to it. I'm like midway through the second quarter. I wanted to watch the whole game, mainly because I told you I would. I lied to you, and I feel bad about that, so please accept my apology. Jets Lions is on my DVR. They rebroadcasted that game yesterday. I was so excited because I really want to watch that game, and I want to see mainly. I'll be honest with you, even though I got a lot of Lions love here, I really want to see how Zach Wilson looks, because it's strange because social media is like they're completely apart. Some say he's good, some say he's bad, and I want to see it for myself. But I also want to see what Jameson Williams looked like against the Jets. That would be kind of interesting. So, and it does surprise me that they didn't target Sauce even once. So, you going to get a Lions jersey? Hey, man, buy me one, man. Send it to me. I'll send you my address. I want a One Pride 40 jersey. You told me you were going to send me one of your game jerseys. I never got one, man. I heard you had the Gators game on DVR. That game was OV. I have no idea. I don't know who won. I didn't look, but I do have that game on DVR. I do want to watch it. Travis Etienne's little brother, he's a freshman. He looks like a possible Heisman candidate. He looks like a lot of fun. The whole Kitna situation with, like, I was excited to see Kitna because he came in against Florida State. He was a freshman. He was a guy that I thought might have a future, but with that legal issue, probably doesn't come back to the university. I don't know what's going on. So they have the third string quarterback who I know nothing about. I do know they recruited one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he may start as a true freshman. He may start. The Florida Gators may go into 2023 with a true freshman quarterback. So, yeah, I do got it on DVR. I got some college football on DVR I'm going to watch. So, how did you – okay, so here's the story. It's a great – I'm going to end it on this story. So what happened was every year I go to bet on NFL over-unders, all right? So what I do is I go through the list, and the Lions stood out because the over-under – this was Patricia's second year. The Lions over-under, I think, was 6. And so I went through the look up Lions YouTube channels, and I came across the Luke G. Field review. So I started watching his stuff, and I really loved the Luke G. Field review. It was a great show. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see channels I recommend the Luke G. Field reviews there. So we started messaging each other, and I told him I had a YouTube channel, and he just, hey, man, do you want to come on and just talk football? And I've been on his show twice. He's been on my show twice. And that's how it started. I went on the Luke G. Field review, and I did such a fantastic job. A lot of those guys subscribed to my channel. The truth is, Luke G. just promoted my show, and it's the main reason I created this channel was because I wanted to build relationships with 31 other NFL fan bases. And so what happened is I reached out to Luke G. He had me on his show, and almost all the Lions fans I get are from the Luke G. Field review. So Luke told me that I would get about 25 new subscribers. He says normally when people come on, you get about 25 to 50. new subscribers. I didn't believe him, but he was true, and they are loyal as fuck. I mean, as somebody who's in Kansas City, and I'm telling you this right now, I've lived in Kansas City for a long time. I need to get out of here. Nothing against Kansas City. It's just that I got to move away from the Midwest. Fans here are fair weather. Lions fans are not. And I kind of knew that already, but after they've been joining my show, it's been like they stick with their team. Chiefs fans don't do that shit. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, it's all the Luke G Field Review. All the Luke G Field Review. And I used to go on his show and leave comments. And I believe his show comes on Monday. I actually hit him up because he wasn't on, and he sent me some. I don't want to reveal. It was kind of a personal message, but Luke has my number. We mostly just DM each other, but Luke G Field Review is the short answer. I owe a lot of my channel's success to Luke G. So, and if you've never seen Luke G Field Review, it's all Lions, but the one thing I will tell you about Luke G, if you don't do anything else, when he starts going over the draft, his draft content is some of the best you'll see on YouTube. It really is. His draft content is A+. Even if you don't want to, like, I get it. You don't want to go to a Lions channel if you're not a Lions fan. I get that. Check out the Luke G Field Review when it comes to draft time. Excuse me. Check out the Luke G Field Review when it comes to draft time. His draft content is maybe the best. It really is. It's all Lions related, but I've had Luke G on. He can talk about any NFL team. So I got to sign up for the team. I want a jersey, man. And by the way, if you don't, you should follow me on social media. So. Recruiting class, yeah, I've been paying attention to the Florida recruiting class. I'm surprised since so many guys left the program. Maybe Napier can be good recruiting because that's what's been lacking for years. Georgia's crushed it. Alabama's crushed it. Texas A&M last year. A bunch of those players from Texas A&M are leaving. Several of them are turning pro. A lot of them are leaving. The Texas A&M situation is kind of strange. LSU has a phenomenal class. This year's class, they got like 5 or 6 true freshmen that could go first round. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. They got 5 or 6 true freshmen on their team that could be first round picks. That Perkins outside linebacker could go number 1 in 2 years. I seriously, he might be a Heisman candidate. Like, that guy's amazing. Yeah, I've been paying attention to the Florida recruiting class, and their number 1 recruit is a quarterback, and I forget where he's from. I'm going to say Florida, but I may be lying to you. He may start as a true freshman. I've seen some clips of him, and he looks really very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. Jimbo's. I'm going to tell you this right now. Jimbo Fisher is an A+ recruiter. But for whatever reason, he won national championship at Florida State. I think like the next year they won like 4 games. He had the best recruiting class in the country. A lot of those guys are leaving. They're seriously like 4 or 5 4-star players. I don't think they have any 5-stars leaving. I could be wrong though. They got like 4 or 5 guys that are leaving. Texas A&M is weird because Texas A&M had. A lot of people don't remember this, but when I first watched Kyler Murray, he was at Texas A&M. He was at Texas A&M and he transferred to Oklahoma. But Texas A&M over the last several years has got some of the best talent in the country, and a lot of them leave. Like Kyler Murray, I mean, he was at Texas A&M for his freshman year, played a little bit. Like they put him in like spot duty. It was kind of weird how they used him, but I thought he was going to come back and be the starter. He wasn't. He ended up leaving. It was some weird stuff. There's some weird stuff, and here's what I've heard. I've never been there. I've heard College Station is It's in West Texas, and I heard that there's nothing there. It's just like it's like desert almost. I'm told like West Texas is horrible. That's what I've heard. Because Lubbock's out there. I've never been to Lubbock either. Lubbock's where Texas Tech plays, and I've heard that the main reason is that like you see the stadium, you see the university, you see the upside of playing in the SEC and all that, and then you're there and there's just nothing, and that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll tell you this. I've been to Fort Worth many times. I would love to live in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. And I've heard Austin is like maybe the greatest place on earth. I've heard so many good things. Austin's on a bucket list. I've heard West Texas, living in West Texas is horrible. I don't know. You won national championship. That year, MSU had that's right. Jimbo Fisher was at Michigan State. I forgot. Yeah. Good night, Dan. I filmed the next Vlogmas. I had a good time. Thank you. Good to see you. Hey Girl TV. It was great to see you. I can't wait to see the next Vlogmas. And I am actually going to wrap up on that comment. I was actually going to try to keep this show short. There was a lot to talk about. I didn't even preview too much of the games, but do check out my video. And the link below is a link to my Week 16 NFL picks. I pick every single game. I pick the score. I ask for you to play along, whether it's just your favorite team or if you want to pick all 16 games. I would love it. I pick all 16 games. And I pick the score. It's actually a great video. Nope, Mark D'Antonio was the coach. Okay, I thought Jimbo. No, not as a head coach. I thought he was like a coordinator there. You know what? Maybe it's just my brain's fried. By the way, I loved Mark D'Antonio. He would win 10 games a year with like 2 and 3 star players. So anyway, Hey Girl says, great job. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Don't forget, I will be live Friday, 7 p.m. Follow me on social media. All the links are below. The links to my picks video is below. You can DM me if you have any questions about fantasy football, anything at all. I'm here to help. I'll see everybody back on Friday.